Without further ado, I'll give you a brief bio and then we'll get right on to the session for tonight. We're extremely pleased to welcome Rabbi Shawn Zevit in what I believe is the first of what will be many appearances and learning opportunities with Rabbi Zevit here at the college and of course other places in the community. I'll tell you a little about him. Rabbi Shawn Zevit serves as a consultant for numerous organizations in the areas of leadership, community building, money and values, creativity and spirituality in the workplace, and he currently is a senior consultant and director of outreach and external affairs for the Jewish Reconstructionist Federation. He has over 25 years experience in spiritual leadership, organizational consulting and training, educational arts, writing, recording, teaching, and performing. He is a founding member of Shabbat Unplugged, Playback Philadelphia, the Institute for Contemporary Midrash, and the Godly Leaders Training Institute. He has also served as presenter for the Canadian Spirituality and Work in Toronto. He has taught at Gratz College's Adult Mini School in Philadelphia, along with serving as a congregational rabbi and consultant to churches, synagogues, nonprofits, corporate organizations. 2008 Shalshet Music winner. He performs traditional and new music from his 5 CDs, which will be available after our session tonight. And he has also been involved with gender and men's issues, leading the annual Jewish Men's Retreat at Eilat Chaim in Connecticut. Rabbi Zevit.
Maybe a casualty of things being turned down, but I think the head of Siegal College here wins the award for the most articulate and fastest introduction I've ever experienced. I'm still recovering from that, so I think one of the best ways for us to all get grounded from your days that you've been through, as well as reeling from that introduction, is to sing a little bit. Sounding good. And we go out. What is reading, everybody? You sounding good? Are these on? We got some sound going on. We'll keep on bitching it with it, which is an ancient Yiddish word for hishtameshin, which is a combination of Hebrew and English. If you're following. So what we just sang, tell me, when do you think that piece of music is from? Just take a guess. 1850. Okay, any other guesses? Do I hear 1855? 1920s, 1930. Right, okay. Does anybody know Rav Kook? You know when he was around? He was the first chief rabbi of Israel before the state, lived up until 1935. He passed away. Those are his words. The music was written by a friend of mine, Yosef August, in 1985. So what is this music? And what is it? Notice where you were somewhere between 1850 and 1930 mostly, right? So something that came through somebody. In fact, Rabbi Zalman Schachter said to Yosef when he said, these are Cook's words. Write some music for me for tomorrow for a program we're doing. And overnight Yosef went, he stood with the words, and this melody came out. So often what we think of as tradition, and that's one thing we're going to explore tonight when we look at Jewish music, is what we're familiar with. And there are resonances depending on our own tastes and our own understandings that locate us in time and space. So something that can come through, you know, for those of you that watch Stargate Atlantis, I don't know how many folks watch some of the sci-fi shows here, but time travel, or, you know, as we say in the Talmud, Ein mukdam ve'ein muchar b'Torah. There's no early and there's no late. You can go through, a melody can transport you the way some things cannot, where words are limited for. In fact, when Rabbi Mordecai Kaplan tried to do away with Kol Nidre in the 1930s, because grammatically the prayer is a mess, and he said it didn't make rational sense, and who goes around vowing and releasing me from vows, so why are we still saying this? People said, rebelled against it and said, we have to say Kol Nidre, not because we understand all of it or necessarily believe it, but without that melody, it's not Yom Kippur. And that melody, of course, that people play on a piece of cello, musicians who play the cello will often play that particular masterpiece as a piece of their repertoire, not even having anything to do with Judaism or Yom Kippur. So those particular pieces are what I want to explore with you this evening. And we'll do a little bit of time travel from biblical times to today. I have some of the actual recordings from biblical times. But listen, if I could sing a song from a friend of mine who wrote it just a couple of decades ago, and you could place it 2 centuries ago, why can't I say I've got actual recordings with it? In fact, we are actual recordings from biblical times. Our cellular makeup, all of us sitting here, whether we're of the Jewish people or we chose at some point in time, we have that cellularly resonating like tuning forks to different melodies at different times. So I actually want to start with a little theological statement. I want to work your minds as well as your bodies and your hearts tonight, and hopefully they'll all come together in your spirits when you leave here around midnight or 1 a.m. whenever I finish. Right? You don't have to stay that long, but that's how much I prepared for this evening. So think of the beginning of creation, of the beginning of our Torah, which is about to cycle through. Right? Just next week, in fact, we're going to chant Bereshit. We're going to chant the first chapter of Genesis. And there's a let there be. Sound happens. In fact, creation doesn't manifest until God, as described in the Torah, speaks it into existence. One could say voices, right? Which is the beginning of song. There's a voice, there's a vocal pattern to what I'm saying. If I just tuned out the words for a minute and gave you the sing-song in my voice as I hear it in my own ear, there would be a melody pattern. Somebody who doesn't speak English would just hear the melody in my voice right now and understand from the verbal and the non-verbal parts. The intonation, what I might think or might be feeling. So that speaking into existence, that singing into existence, is part of our very understanding of how creation happens